I went to Isle Royale as a backpacker in 1969 with a group of camp counselors from a YMCA camp over in Minnesota, and fell in love with another of the counselors who was on the backpacking trip named Rolf Peterson. And then he, in the course of the next year, applied for graduate school and was accepted to study at Purdue under Durward Allen to study the wolf-moose interaction on Isle Royale. So I just tagged along. And so I had planned to go into the Peace Corps. I had an assignment. I was going to go out and save the world. But I realized that I couldn't. I just wanted to be with him and support him. And he seemed to know what he wanted to do, which was different from me. And I thought, well, I'll just help. So that's what I've been doing. There aren't places that are so very special. There are places where everything came together at that moment and they were perfect, but you can't go back there and have it happen again. So I think rather than tell people where they should go with an open heart and explore. And there isn't anything at the other end that's different from this end. Don't use it as a place to try to get around the corner. Just it's a small place. It's an intimate place. It's not a spot that jumps out at you with dramatic geysers and waterfalls and things. And so, but you've got to open your heart to it. You can do it because there is nothing out there to be afraid of. That's huge. No bears. You can take a nap out in the woods. Nothing to be afraid of. And fear is not part of wilderness experience for me. It's wilderness experience is a sense of belonging and connectedness and blessing and not fear. No, wolves are interested in eating, and they don't eat people. That's actually a fascinating thing. We haven't really figured out why they are afraid of us, because you look at a 900-pound moose with those lethal feet that kick, and you can understand why anything might be afraid of a moose, but why would wolves be afraid of us? We have not figured it out. And when I've camped alone and had wolves howling all around me, I've been scared and mad at myself the next day for being scared. But it's a scary thing. They are a formidable animal. They're a wild animal, and we have to give them space. And Isle Royale has been a place where wolves have been able to get along with people beautifully all these years, and it's wonderful. We get a very special sort of person who comes to Isle Royale. Probably, 95% of the people on the planet would not even want to go. When they hear no plumbing, they say, "Are you kidding me? Is that a vacation?" So it attracts a very unusual sort of person, and we have a lot of people who come by to visit us and look at the moose bone collection that we have in the backyard. And I am finding that one of my favorite things about Isle Royale are the people that come to us and tell us their stories. I went to Isle Royale originally pretty much in love with nature, but not at all certain about people. And Isle Royale has taught me that people are one of God's very best things. I think it's too bad that it's very expensive to get to Isle Royale and to stay on Isle Royale, unless you're backpacking or, that's too bad. The national parks should not be for rich people. They should be for anybody who wants to go. And Isle Royale being out in the middle of Lake Superior already, it's going to be expensive to get there. And I think that's too bad. But again, I don't think everybody needs to go to Isle Royale. I think it's not a dramatic, spectacular place, and I like for people who do want a connection to nature to look close to home, not think that they have to come to Isle Royale to get that experience. You can get it most anywhere if you can get out of earshot of human noise and connect. I'd say recently, Rolf and I have gotten into canoeing. And we have paddled. We have an old, it was a wedding gift, wood canvas canoe, and we've paddled it around the outside of the island 7 times now. And that gives a different perspective on the island. We're not walking on it, we're just observing it. And you have a reverence for the lake. You're always watching the weather, 1 foot on shore all the time. In a wood canvas canoe, you can't land in a lot of places, so you can't get out in big water. Even if you can handle the water paddling, if you've got to get your canoe on shore, we're not able to go out in bad weather at all. But there's, again, the sense of we're not in control in any way, but the processes that control us are moving us forward, and they're so very good. I get my faith in life restored from that experience. I always try to learn stories from the visitors who stop by. And we had a man who came last summer. His name is Ted Oakey. He's a retired principal, a full-time teacher. And he told me that he does not believe there are any bad people on the planet. There are just people who've made poor career choices. And I really like that view of humanity. It's helped me a lot to try to wrap my compassion around people that I disagree with. And I think it's a great way to look at each other. It's helpful. So that, it's not natural. Well, yeah, it's natural. When you meet other people, we're part of nature, right?
Sure.
So that's something I've learned, that wilderness is more than trees and rocks and water and wild animals. We're definitely part of creation. I think we're needed to rectify some of the mistakes that we've made, and I look forward to seeing what we do.